actually changed the way we see the world. Yeah, the world. It was once believed that you could literally walk too far and fall off this planet and become lost into the oblivion of darkness and maybe even, I don't know, hit your head on a star. That would just be a terrible fate. Nobody wants that. But anyway, you could, all right, do yourself a favor and do not limit yourself by having a preset mentality, because you'd only be hindering your own personal growth. And be hindering your own personal growth and the world, which we know is round because of ancient Greek geographer Eratosthenes. So research is continuously expanding. Lisa Blackwell had wrote an article about how we can start training our brain like we would a muscle. Because when we're at the gym, trying to get muscles in different areas, we're working on muscles that we don't typically use. So therefore, if we start using our brain and treat it like a muscle, we can start going into what our cortex is, where there are billions of tiny nerve cells called neurons, which help us learn and develop new ways that just help us learn, basically, on a basic level. But what if I told you you could double the information that you learned and hold on to it for a very longer period of time? How many of you have ever been told that you can't do something? That maybe it's too hard? Well, through being cognitively flexible, you can begin to do those things that were so hard and that you've never been able to do. We can take our lives to the next level. When our brain starts thinking in new ways, we gain the ability to be more aware of ourself, our actions, and look objectively at the circumstance that we're in. And kind of like a third person, take ourselves outside of the bubble and look at it from a new perspective. And all of that comes from thinking outside the box, having an open mind. So a few weekends ago, me and some friends were at a bar, and there was this man, an older gentleman, and he was dancing very, very prerogatively. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought maybe he's in a Britney Spears music video as one of the backup dancers. I don't know, because it was very intense, okay? So, I'm standing there just kind of feeling the music, and all of a sudden, he's like looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make eye contact because I don't want to engage, I just want to enjoy myself, And, he starts dancing in this very sexual, prerogative way, almost like two animals, and they have that mating ritual dance. So I was like, all right, a bit intense, but very bold. But, he's enjoying himself. So, after he starts dancing, and then in a split second, he drops down doing a split on the ground. And I'm like, whoa, that must hurt, but maybe not, I don't know. I'm female, so, and then all of a sudden, he's right there next to me, and he puts his arm around me, and I'm like, all right there, buddy, you enjoy yourself, but please respect my personal space. There's a lot of coronaviruses and germs going on. Let's keep that space. So I appreciate it. And he just said absolutely nothing. Just kind of looked, kind of like as a puppy when it does something wrong, and it gives you those eyes like, what do I do? I just want attention. So by that response, I was a bit confused. I started analyzing and observing his actions with other people in the bar. Especially because just that morning I heard that there was some pedophile on the loose that they couldn't catch. So I was like, oh man, I need to keep the citizens safe. I'm going to keep an eye on this guy, observe, make sure he's not a threat to anybody. So as I'm observing and watching him, I realized, all right, well, let me start asking questions. I'm not going to judge this guy. I'm going to say, hey, what's his background story? Was this man a victim of sexual abuse? Was he a victim of sexual abuse as a child? Was he able to understand basic boundaries? Could he be a danger to others? Is he even a go-go dancer? I don't know, you know. So after speaking to some locals, I found out he was a victim of sexual assault. And it just goes to show you should really never judge someone upon first meeting them. And I hope you can all think more open-mindedly about people you meet.